What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. What's up, baby? You know what? It is my birthday today, y'all. We are down here. I'm down here to talk to you about some trending topics. I didn't watch Love and Hip Hop last night. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment and let me know that you stopped by. It was really shaking right then. I don't have any plans today, honey. My birthday is in the middle of the week. What is it, Tuesday? What is today? Is today Tuesday? I don't know what day. I think today is Tuesday. Yeah, today is Tuesday. So I don't have nothing planned. I'll probably just, treat myself to something nice. It be fulfilled, yes. So we are down here to talk about a few things, and Joseline's on the damn docket. She is on the damn list over here. I got her name written down here. It says Joseline, homophobic comment. Everybody can get it. Joseline. When I get to where I'm going, we can talk about it. But it was in response to that trash degenerate. What a trash bag. Boosie was on the Breakfast Club. I've only heard, I reported that video. I reported the video. I left a comment on the video because I'm like, the Breakfast Club, why is it? And maybe it's just not the Breakfast Club. Maybe it's just the culture that we get into these positions where we're like giving people who paid a grown woman to are their nephews and their sons. Why would you give a person like that a platform or a spotlight? I could feel like you could talk about the person all day, but why would you invite them up there to sit down to have an interview? When I tell you he is like the trash of the community, why do we do that? Why do we spotlight the trash? And Funky Doniva said something, I can't remember what video he was talking about. I don't know if it was the baby. I can't remember. But basically, he said that it's like within our community, there's a race to the bottom. And it's like, I'm starting to see that. I'm starting to see that. I know we have our community of Black excellence, but it seems like the only people we're giving, spotlights to. Why would they interview Lil Boosie? Why would they interview him? That man literally said that his sons and nephews were trained to FUCK. And don't send your little daughter around my sons. She's going to get FUCKED. Yes, he said that because he had a grown woman top them off. I know she did good on them because she did it on me. So you paid an adult to assault your nephews and son. Is this the straight agenda? Are our little boys coming into their quote unquote preteens? They're 12, 13 years old. You're paying somebody? Is that what we're doing in our community? Paying for our children to be assaulted so that you can maintain a straight agenda? Is that what's going on? Because what are you doing? That's so gross and it's so detrimental. And it's he should never. That would be like them interviewing R. Kelly. In my opinion, you have people in your care that you've allowed an adult to assault sexually. And y'all want to give him a platform because he said some ignorant comments about Lil Nas X and all of these things. I did not watch the interview. I've seen clips, going around. No one is, happy. Of course, there's people in the comments. Saying, I agree with him, and and this is what we need, straight pride. And it's so funny when the illusion of white supremacy, this game that we're playing, this video game that we're playing, that it's coded in a way that has you going through obstacles and courses, determining if you are going to uphold the illusion of white supremacy. And I keep telling y'all that, and I don't think black people, especially straight black people, I don't think you realize that when you are upholding the template, when you are upholding the assimilation goal, the assimilation round, the assimilation level, the assimilation level comes with upholding whiteness, upholding heterosexuality, upholding male identity, and upholding Christianity. Those four things uphold the illusion of white supremacy. And if you uphold any of those things, if you make steps in your community and you're upholding any of these tenets or any of these characteristics or attributes, whatever you want to call them, any of these codes, if you uphold any of these codes, you are working to build and to uphold the illusion of white supremacy. When you see LGBTQIA people existing, they are existing outside of this code that has been programmed in this game. And when you sit online talking about straight pride and we need to have heterosexual pride and all the, like, it's like ridiculous when you assume that your heterosexuality is the template for humanity and for all humans. You are upholding a binary system that is based in the illusion of white supremacy. And that's it. And you don't even realize it. The same things that you're promoting is actually not for you. That's not for you. It's not. So Joseline, she got on the internet, and based on whatever Boosie said on the Breakfast Club, she basically said, now I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but from my perspective, Joseline Hernandez seems like she identifies as bisexual. She be having her face in people's titties and boxes and everything like that. So I'm trying to figure out, what's T, you not bisexual anymore? Because if you're bisexual, you are outside of that code. That code of heterosexuality, that you are coded, that they're telling you that you're coded, that that's your default code. When you're bisexual, it's outside of that code. So while you're saying that my daughter, it says, this is from hip hop. What is this? Hot new, what the fuck is this? Hotnewhiphop.com, child. This only people that's going to run a story on Joseline and maybe the Shade Room or somebody else. Joseline Hernandez co-signs Boosie badass take on Lil Nas X. The reality star, yes, who is openly bisexual, agrees with Boosie's comments on The Breakfast Club and says her child won't be brainwashed. If you don't realize that the code of white, male, Christian, and heterosexuality is the brainwashing, that is the brainwashing. Like, I don't understand. And being outside of that, being black is fucking queer, right? Being black is outside of that. Your very existence is outside of the foundation of this matrix. We in this game playing, and you have been, the player that you have chosen is a black, male, female, trans, non-binary. That's the body that you're in. You're in a black body in this game. And the rules of the game are to uphold the illusion of white supremacy in this binary matrix. It is. And when you say, my child won't be brainwashed, the brainwashing is you believing that your default setting and coding is straight. That is something that's literally made up. Every single thing that we be down here arguing about, color, race, religion, gender, sexuality, all of that thing is it's fake. It's constructed to keep us in these systems. And when you say, I'm fighting for heterosexual rights or my child won't be brainwashed, you don't even realize you are working in assimilation mode. And when you have fully assimilated, you are upholding all four of those things. When you're male identified, when you're promoting straight pride, right? When you're a colorist, right? Yes, come on. And I'm just like, and you're beating people over the head with your Jesus and your Holy Spirit. You doing all of this. That is what you're doing. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me, and that's fine, but I see the world differently. You know, have you ever seen They Live? And that man put on the glasses and he could see all the shit that said obey, obey, obey. And then he finally saw the actual people living among them that weren't human. And these people were making sure that you were following orders. And you didn't even realize, because everything is subliminal. Everything was subliminal. Go watch They Live. It's an old movie, but go watch it. When that man he put them glasses on, and he was like, and when he put, the world was completely different. He saw all the subliminal messages that people walking around is just so oblivious. Straight pride, just fucking zombies. His previous comments about Lil Nas X rubbed people the wrong way, but it didn't stop Boosie Badass from speaking his mind during his recent visit to the Breakfast Club. Like Charlemagne with children. He has children. I know Charlemagne has been in his shit where he has given a underage girl some Spanish fly, and her mother did not take her to the court, because if her mother had taken her to the court, we might not have a Charlemagne the God today. We might not. And that mother did not, because she didn't want to ruin her daughter's life. Honey, you should have took your daughter right down there, the same way as that girl that was assaulted by brother Polight, that 14-year-old girl, the daughter of his girlfriend. And he has been charged with sexual assault of a minor. Yes. Y'all, I can't believe the things that y'all uplift. Y'all, he should have never been invited to the Breakfast Club. Charlemagne, you have daughters. Envy, you have sons and daughters. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, literally, y'all don't see, like, this man is a detriment. This man is a degenerate, trash of the community. Why would you one week have my son and Tamika Mallory and motherfucking Claude Anderson, and then the next week have Boosie Badass? With his rhetoric, the hatred that he's speaking, the dog whistles, all of that. Y'all have to do better. I can't believe it. And as protective as Envy acts like he is over his family, to allow a predator like that, a man who hired an adult woman to rape his sons and nephews. Boosie was questioned by Charlemagne regarding his remarks about beating up the industry baby star for perpetrating some agenda allegedly laid out by the LGBTQIA plus community. I just be feeling like sometimes I gotta speak up, because as far as straight people in the world, you don't have an opinion. That is a blatant lie. The coding is straight. You guys, people have been hung, tied to fences because they were gay. They have been beat up, killed because they are gay. What do you mean straight people don't have an opinion? Straight people inflict violence on people all of the time. I'm not heterosexual. Gay people, LGBTQ people. What are you talking about? It's straight people killing these people. Come on. That's a lie. If you say anything, I'm straight, I'm a woman. I'm straight. If you say anything, I'm straight, I like women, it's vulgar. You can't brag on really smashing or your sexuality anymore. First of all, the things that men, if you think about it, because I've used the words too, but if you think about it, the words that men use when they are describing having sex with women are all violent. Think about it. Smashing, screwing, breaking your back, beating your back in, busting it open. All of this shit are violent acts that are being described with having sex with women. I beat that up. Yes. And we women fall into that shit. Listen to what he said. You can't brag on smashing or your sexuality anymore. Your sexuality is what's being told to people that is the default, and that is a lie. And what you are doing is upholding lies in fear of whatever. His remarks were met with a mixed bag of reactions from social media users. Joseline Hernandez agreed with the rapper's sentiment after a clip was shared on Instagram. Joseline commented, Boosie is right. And that's why Bonnie don't have a TV. Shaking my head. Push whatever you want, but mine's is already possessive. You don't have to put an S on it, okay? Mine's won't be brainwashed. Y'all reaching. I also like myself a little licky, but I'm not the one, the two, or the three to expose children to the extreme of showcasing something that should not be taught to children at such a young age. That's sick. To me, that's sick. I think the fact that you want to have all of these rules and regulations behind sexuality, but then you are repressing it, as in the same sense, you are repressing the sexual expression. And when you make children comfortable, there is ways that you can have conversations about sexuality that is age appropriate. The fact that y'all go from 0 to the extreme tells me something about you. It tells me something about you, because the fact that you have a problem with two men kissing, that is a problem. But see, you would understand if some big, fat, greasy, white motherfucker got on TV and was like, I don't want to see niggers kissing white people on TV. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to see my kind kissing you niggers on TV. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see niggas on stage dancing, you niggas. I don't want to see it. How would y'all feel? Y'all would understand then. Right? I want to see white on TV. I want to see straight on TV. I want to see male-identified content on TV. That's what y'all want to see. And you don't even realize what you're doing. When you step outside of it and realize you are upholding the tenets of white supremacy, you need to go sit your ass down somewhere and reevaluate what your mission is and what you've been promoting and what you've been pushing on your people. Because just your very skin color is outside of that. And you as a black person upholding heterosexuality to the point where it's inciting violence against another group of people is the same thing as people upholding whiteness and committing violence against people who don't look like them. There's no difference. Oh no, yes, there is a difference. There is a difference. Because if I'm black, you can tell I'm black. So you want people that are gay to not show that they're gay so they can stay safe in this society. Because you as a black person can't change your skin tone. People know you're black, so you can't change that. But people don't know people are gay because they can hide. Hey, there are some black people walking around here passing and have not told anybody that they're black. Passing as white. Just think about that. Joseline, you sound silly. You sound silly as a bisexual woman. But see, her bisexuality benefits who? Men. That's why she's bisexual, because in her mind, it puts her closer to a man. Men love bisexual women. They don't like bisexual men because they like bisexual women because there's an idea in their mind that a threesome can happen if I have a bisexual woman. Never mind the woman who's bisexual might be monogamous and is monogamous with a man. Doesn't mean that the idea of bisexuality mean you footloose and fancy free out here fucking everybody. That's not it. And I really believe that when you conflate gender and sex, people are really confused about that. When you go fill out a form and it says sex, and then next to it says male and female, when the sex has nothing to do with the gender. It's a way to confuse you. Your sex has nothing, your sexuality has nothing to do with your gender. So every time you think of gender, you thinking of sex. Where my gender identity doesn't have anything to do with my sexuality. I can be non-binary, right, and heterosexual. It's two different things. And when people don't ask the questions, there's so many websites that are dedicated to answering questions, and you don't answer questions. You down here in this digital space talking shit, and all you're doing, you might as well have a white hood on. You seriously, with a cross around your neck and a Bible in your hand. You might as well. Because they don't like gay people, LGBTQ. They don't like black people. And they pushing the Bible, using the Bible to justify their violence against you for not being the standard. Y'all don't realize that? Am I crazy? Okay. Anyways, that was it for that. Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez actually, his bail amount was increased because he did not stay away from Meg Thee Stallion. He didn't stay the amount of feet that he needed to stay from her when at the Rolling Loud concert. So the judge increased his bail because he was in violation of that. See, I don't know who you niggas think you are. The baby bringing out Tory Lanez, like literally probably had to pass Meg Thee Stallion to get on the stage. After she performs, you come out and bring the man who shot her. What are you upholding? Male identity, because you say, fuck the women. I'm not protecting the women. You two are upholding that bullshit. And I'm so glad the judge is like, I really hope he gets into it. I'm sorry, but I hope he gets into a lot of trouble for this. I hope he does jail time for this, because you just cannot get away with shooting a black woman. I don't care what you guys think the stories are, and the fact that there was any doubt in what was happening, where to me, I don't feel like the girl's story has never changed. She even showed the things, and people are like, you a big girl, you did this. Just like, basically, like the idea that her stature over him would be justifiable, that he pulled out a gun and shot, like, it's just ridiculous. And I'm so glad when he went to court yesterday, they increased his bail, because they said, listen, you're not going to be able to be, that's violent in itself to me. That's really violent to me, to bring the person's abuser there with them, to bring the abuser there with them. Here, I'm trying to look at the post. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was, Jay-Z and Beyonce did a Tiffany & Co. ad where Beyonce had on a priceless yellow diamond, I believe. But what sent everybody talking was like, the images were beautiful, they were nice or whatever, her and Jay-Z. But in the image was a never seen before Basquiat original that was in Tiffany blue, and so that was in the background of their photo shoot. And a lot of people, let's be clear, a lot of people thought that Beyonce and Jay-Z owned that Basquiat. They do not own that Basquiat. It is actually owned by the conglomerate Louis Vuitton Moet, and what's the H stand for? I can't remember. But that group, of that conglomerate owns that Basquiat original. There was a lot of people talking about black people and buying art. I guess they're not used to seeing black people buying art. Black people buy art. Okay, I think black people should buy art. I do believe that. But, it's all within your budget. To me, I always feel like work with up and coming artists, buy their art, because you never know. You just never know. If you like it and it resonates and it vibes with you and you feel it and you want it in your home, put it in your home. Collect art, put it in your home. And because you never know, you just never know. But so basically the Basquiat was acquired by LVMH by a private seller. This was its first public appearance. Now Jay-Z's appearance looks awfully like Basquiat, his hair, and everybody keeps saying he's trying to embody Basquiat. He's trying, and I'm offended by it, actually, because I just have this relationship with Basquiat and his art, and from when I was in my early 20s, I've always loved. My favorite artists are Jean-Michel Basquiat, Salvador Dali, and Frida Kahlo. Those are my 3 favorite artists. I love them. Period. That's the end of it. That is the end of it. So when I see Swiss Beats and Reebok doing stuff with Jean-Michel's work and his crown, I get upset, because I know whether or not he had money from his art, I know he was anti-capitalist. I know he was anti all this shit. And I know that what killed him is what nourished him too. I know that. And I know that he had money. He was in the crowds and he was doing this. Let me tell you something. I know about Jean-Michel Basquiat. Understand this, right? But everything that they represent as being a billionaire was what he was against. If you look at his art, he was against all of that, all these structures. He died of a drug overdose at 27 years old. Heroin. 27. On the cusp of just greatness. Already great, already a legend when he died. You know what I'm saying? In the art world. And it's just like, when I see Jay-Z trying to, like, the hairstyle, I'm looking like, I don't even think he would really rock with you niggas like that. Like, because you're not, if you respected his paintings like that and respected his artwork, you would see that what you represent, he was against. That's how I feel about it. BuzzFeed reported on it. And, people were just, mixed reactions. It's always going to be mixed reactions to anything dealing with Jay-Z and Beyonce. But the fact that they had this never before seen Basquiat in their photo shoot is, beautiful. And never before seen. And it is what it is. It's Moet Hennessy, Louis Vuitton. It's LVMH, Moet and Hennessy. I couldn't remember the H. Okay, Hennessy. So that's what it is. So that is the conglomerate. They own a lot of companies, a lot of makeup lines, alcohol. It's like a lot of lifestyle, alcohol, makeup. I believe LVMH owns Savage Fenty. Like, didn't she sell Savage Fenty to them? I think so. Stella McCartney, Fenty, Kenzo, Celine, Givenchy, Christian Dior, Stella McCartney, all under that conglomerate. So, it is what it is. So a lot of people, what do you think about it? I love Jean-Michel Basquiat. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God. And then I was like, they don't own this. And then I had to go find out. So they didn't own it. It's actually, I'm sure they own a Basquiat. I'm sure they do. I would love to own a Basquiat. Do you hear me? However, that wasn't theirs. So I just want to make that very clear that they don't own that. LVMH owns that. Okay? All right. Also, I wanted to talk about Aaliyah's uncle apologizes and explain why her music has been absent from streaming platforms. And this is from Baller Alert. Aaliyah's uncle apologizes and explains why her music has been absent from streaming platforms. Sophomore album One in a Million made its debut on streaming platforms Friday after nearly 20 years since the singer passed in a plane crash. The singer's uncle, Barry Hankerson, posted a statement to Instagram about a re-release, including the reason why it took so long for his niece's music to be available, thanking and apologizing to her fans. Thank you to all of her many fans for keeping her music alive. I'm sorry it took so long, but when you lose a family member so unexpectedly, it takes time to deal with that type of grief. I decided to release Aaliyah's music in order to keep her legacy alive, Hankerson wrote. He also included a thank you to Aaliyah's parents, who also served as her managers. I cannot take credit for managing Aaliyah, as That was never a title I held, he said in a statement. The title belonged to Diane Houghton and her husband, who managed Aaliyah from the start of her career and to her passing. To read the rest of the blog, go to Baller Alert. So he apologized because a lot of people were upset about it, but a lot of people were saying, they listened to it. You could go on YouTube and just put in Aaliyah and watch it, but if you want it to be like in a playlist or something like that, then this is good for the people, and people are really happy about it. So I'm glad he finally apologized, but we do need to speak to how she got into the hands of a predator. I read something the other day, was it yesterday or day before, that Sinbad, when he found out about R. Kelly and Aaliyah, he was like, absolutely not. I cannot fuck with dude anymore. And he said somebody asked him if he wanted to work with him on something, and he was like, absolutely not. And then I think at one point he wanted to work with Sinbad's daughter, according to this article. And Sinbad said, I told him, I said no. And for the fact that you brought that to me, that R. Kelly wants to work with my daughter, absolutely not. And I think he said, and so many parents have been blamed for just handing their children over to a predator. That's how I felt about that Polight situation. I felt so bad. I feel so bad for that 14-year-old girl, that child, that kid, that baby, to be taken from her mother. Like, you trust, first of all, that's one. You trusted your daughter with this man who was your partner, and he takes her. I'm like, is he going to get like a kidnapping charge? Because he took her out of the building she was in, took her to another hotel. She wakes up, trigger warning, she wakes up to him trying to make her throw up, and she has bruises and cuts around her mouth. Her mouth has been bruised. I don't know what he was doing, but I can only assume that he was forcing fellatio. That's the only thing that I can assume. And there was DNA taken from her. He took her back to her mother, told her mother, don't say nothing because this will ruin my career. If she had been one of these mammies, she would have said, okay, told the daughter, don't say nothing. But what she did, and shout out to her for doing that and not being so brainwashed by this unconscious community, that she took her daughter, got a rape kit, they took samples, 6 samples, had a DNA warrant. They had to get a warrant for his DNA, and the DNA results came back positive. All 6 came from him, around her neck, or on her sweater, around her, everywhere around in her upper body. Luckily, he didn't go and completely vaginally rape her, I should say. He basically sodomized her. That's how it is technically. And he takes her back, all 6 samples, matches DNA, and he's been charged. He's been charged. And now all of these men are taking extreme measures to deflect away from a predator being in the midst of the conscious community. And it only makes me think that the rest of y'all are predators too. Anyone who is complicit when a child has been abused, let alone sexually abused, and you want to try to deflect to protect the legacy of a man, you're a predator too. That is how I see you. There's no reason why anyone, I don't give a fuck who you are, should position themselves to deflect away from a child being sexually abused by a grown-ass man. So if you're deflecting, you're a predator too. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. I want to know how the fuck you need to answer to that. Never mind answering to why you haven't released her music. Answer why you handed that girl over to a predator. Because let me tell y'all something. People in the community, they know who the fucking predators are. They know who they are. And that's why that man who's supposed to be the grandfather of the conscious community online or whatever, he called Polight baby Dr. York. And if y'all don't know who Dr. York is, he is a man who started this community on the East Coast and abused so many hundreds of children. Hundreds. Having sex, making the children have sex with each other, everything. And you call this man baby Dr. York, that means that you know what he's up to. I want that conscious community, unconscious community, what did Tasha K call them? The sleep community. I want them to be dismantled too, because all they're doing is going around with these predators, preying on boys and girls. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Preying on boys and girls. And then having other adults protect them. Like, where does the protection come for the children? Like, that shit is crazy to me. And when you get these men, all of these men trying to deflect away from Polight sexually assaulting this girl, this 14-year-old girl, and you trying to deflect like, no, look over here. Why? Why are you doing that? What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all that you just don't have it in your brain to automatically protect the future of your community? No, you want to put them in the hands of people who will abuse them. And you know, I unfortunately, when I see Aaliyah, when I see her, she always looks sad to me. Her eyes just look so sad to me. And every time I see her, I think about that man abusing her, taking her to get married at 15 years old. Like, what? And then the people who like forge documents to cover it up. Like, what is wrong with y'all? When you mess with vulnerable people, I cannot rock with you. I will not protect you. I don't care who it is. That's over with. Y'all need to learn how to protect. Stop trying to protect men. Like, what is that? Protect the children, protect the women. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, literally, what is wrong with y'all? It's sick. It's psychotic, and it's very dark, and it's very evil. It's very evil. Very evil. Just the other day, my therapist was asking about, do I have, men around the boys? And I'm like, you know what? My oldest son played basketball. On the last day of basketball, the last day of their season, they're at round table eating. And I'm thinking to myself, and my son, he has a basketball coach around this, around other boys and stuff like that. It might be good. His basketball coach was sitting at the table talking to the other little boys and said, if my son was gay, I would wonder what I did wrong. And I said out loud, yikes. And it was luckily it was the last day, because I was conflicted on whether I should talk to him. And then I said, if I ever get in contact, because that was the last day, and I said, if I ever get in contact with him, I'm going to have a conversation with him, because you are around 12, 13, 14-year-old boys, right? Who are coming into puberty and could be questioning whether or not they're heterosexual or not. They trying to understand, trying to figure it out. And if they're around people who are saying things like this, you could have a boy on your basketball team right now who is gay. And when he hears his basketball coach say, hey, if my son came out gay, I would wonder what I did wrong. I would ask God what I did wrong, right? And a boy hears that, or a girl hears that, they're going to repress themselves. They're going to repress themselves and likely start performing in a way. Those are the kids that start thinking that something is wrong with how they feel. Something is wrong with their feeling. I don't feel like the rest of the boys. And when you're around 12 and 13, 14-year-old boys, you cannot say stuff like that. I don't care how you personally feel, but you cannot say stuff like that, because what you might be doing is pushing someone into a closet to repress their real feelings. And how would you like to be on the other side of being that person who said something to a child that made them repress themselves until they were able to wherever get out and be free? You got to think about the shit y'all be saying around your kids. And I'm like, I can't really trust men, because the way that majority have been socialized, it is not a benefit to have children around them, because I don't want my children to hear no shit like something's wrong with being gay, or something crazy about a woman, or talking ignorant, or saying things violent about. I don't want that at all. I want my sons to grow up heart-centered and kind and compassionate to all people, especially as men, vulnerable people. That's what I want to see. But these men around, I don't know, honey. And you give your Aaliyah over to R. Kelly, this woman. And I'm thinking to myself, Polight told the cops that he was helping the mother and the daughter work on their relationship with each other. The mother said her and her daughter have never had conflict. But can you imagine that the person that you trust and you depend on for your survival, who you have no problems with, handed you off to a man who took you to a room and sexually abused you? Now you done fucked up their relationship. You fucked it up. Now she has in her mind, my mother handed me off to a person to be abused. Now you've ruined their relationship. Now you've ruined it. Thank you, Brother Polight. And then he was so arrogant. He gets on his Instagram, so arrogant, like you can't be touched. Let me tell you something. The crucial part is the woman who said, oh no, I don't give a fuck if you're my man or not. You just sexually assaulted my daughter and had the nerve to bring her back to me and ask me not to say anything because it will ruin your career when you have stolen my child's innocence. You're going to jail. And I hope you go under the jail. And I hope when you get to jail, they open your ass so wide that you can see through your fucking eyes. I hope they do. I hope. Because I don't have any room. I have no room, no apologies, no compassion for people who abuse children. None at all. None. I can't find it. I can't. Okay, y'all, I'm done. I'm done talking about it. I'm sorry I had to end on that note, but I was just thinking about Barry Hankerson, like, let's talk about, sorry you didn't release her music. Let's talk about how you handed her over to a predator. Let's talk about that. Every time I look at Aaliyah, I look in her eyes and they look so sad because I think, what did that man do to her? What did he do to her? Damn creep. Anyways, y'all, I'm out of here. I'm going to have a good day. Today is my birthday. I am going to probably smoke until I'm levitated. And that's about it. That's pretty much it. I'm just gonna just relax. That's it. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other. Protect your energy. Protect the children of your community. Take care of each other. All right. Peace.